Not gonna lie, when I was a teenager, I felt empty very often when I watched Disney movies because Disney movies, undoubtedly, all the time, are depictions of heterosexual relationships, the happily ever after that heterosexual people get to experience or should strive to experience. I never thought that I would experience it because I thought as a child and as a teenager that it was strictly a heterosexual thing. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because recently, the director of Disney's live-action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast announced that one of the minor characters is going to be openly gay, or at least gay to some degree, and it's the character LeFou. I think it's pronounced LeFou, either LeFou or LeFou. It's Gaston's short little stout, loud-mouthed henchman, or whatever type of person he is. We'll just say partner in crime, I guess. But it is announced that he is a gay character, and it's interesting because we do see in the animated version that he, in a way, pines over Gaston. He adores him in every way, so it's not too far outside of our imaginations to imagine him having some sort of crush on Gaston. Well, of course, this announcement really caused a lot of controversy. People were angry that, oh, you're changing Disney's intent. Movie theaters threatened to ban the movie because it implied gay representation. Countries like Russia threatened to ban it as well because of the same thing. And it has a lot of people up in arms, and it's just a really sad reflection of the state that things are in right now. Like, even in the simplest of ways, the representation of LGBTQ people is still socially unacceptable, and it's unacceptable that people think that that representation is unacceptable. But I want to look at it a little bit more deeply. I read a very interesting article that talked about how LeFou being gay isn't necessarily a good thing for the LGBTQ community because it's just an example of the difficulty and the invalidation that LGBTQ people are faced with in popular media. LGBTQ people are reduced to being mentally unstable, villainous, having a lot of dysfunction emotionally, psychologically, or they just simply don't exist, or they die, or they're overly sexualized. And while I do think it's a good thing that they're at least trying to bring out that representation, it's just a symptom. It shows a symptom of a larger problem in Hollywood especially, and in our culture, that gay people are often swept under the rug or ignored. And a lot of people were like, well, why should gay people have to be represented? Why should they have to be depicted in any way? And my same question could be for heterosexual people too. Why should there be representation of any identity if that question is going to be thrown around? It's just very disrespectful. And honestly, when I was a kid and a teenager, I felt lost because I felt like I was never going to have a happily ever after. I thought that I was just going to be alone for the rest of my life because I didn't think that I fit into the whole equation. And I don't think it's a bad thing to have representation at all in the media. I just think it needs to be achieved in a different way, and I think the best way Disney could do that would be by creating an original character who is an LGBTQ character. And I think it would be super powerful if it was a male LGBTQ character, because men are often underrepresented in the LGBTQ community. Because, of course, since we live in this culture that is male-driven, it's more acceptable to see two women together as it is to see two men together. But I could go into a whole other series of videos about that subject, but I just wanted to talk about that briefly and say that while I commend Disney's efforts, I think that more could be done, and it could be done differently. And I think all of these homophobic people saying they're going to boycott Disney, they need to take their heads out of their bums and live in the 21st century, because this is not the 1920s. I'm sorry. People are diverse, and you need to accept that diversity. Get with the program. Anyway, if you guys like my video, please comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel, and share your thoughts below. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.